trim. And why he was in Chicago, he was across the street from the building site of the Sears Tower, which would eventually be taller than his.
Right.
And so he wanted to keep an eye on that while trying to fast track the World Trade Center. And so I'm sitting there, working out things where the bridges go, having them built right into the structural center and the thing welded in. And so they told Yamasaki about that, and then he shot back, whatever guy thought of that, fire him right away. Because I want two freestanding towers that are visually vibrating. They're very close together. So what he was doing was producing an 11 in the sky.
Right.
And an 11 which was not the same height. Because the two towers were dedicated to David and Nelson Rockefeller.
Right.
And one guy, one of the brothers, was taller than the other, so they made a 6-foot differential in the towers. Now, so I said I just can't believe what these guys are doing. That it would have been great to have done that. If anything ever happened to that thing, you could have people, you could empty the thing out.
Right.
Because if one was on fire, you could bring all the people over to the other one and bring them out. So you'd have 4 or 5 hours extra from anything of that kind. But Yamasaki said, well, that would encourage, people, as human flies going up big buildings. And it didn't stop one guy. He went up the thing and across on a tightrope from one to the other, and then down the other side. Before the cops caught him.
Yeah. Do you think that he was focusing on this twin tower symbolism due to Kabbalism, that perhaps maybe he was looking?
No, this guy, would give lessons to a straight arrow. I mean, he was. The thing that what he was doing.
Yamasaki, we're talking about.
He was into pure, exaggerated capitalism.
Oh.
When he worked in Saudi Arabia, and probably a little bit on the beginnings of Dubai, that he wanted to do things like airports, hospitals, hotels, big housing developments over there. And he was the one that got the Ben Laban construction company started.
Right.
Because that was a construction company that was just limping along, not doing anything. So he trained them in his style. So he came over and had them work on the World Trade Center, because I remember one day I'm working on the...
Wait, you say the Bin Ladens were working on the trade towers?
Well, not Osama.
Right.
He was one of the trust fund kids,
right,
that came out from this, and that's why his own 50 children have each one has about $1 million in the bank, that kind of stuff.
Right.
But the construction company that Yamasaki used, he had to use, obviously had to use some American ones in there, but these guys were very close, or they were like right-hand men to Yamasaki, and they would go around and to different desks, and one of them came over to me. He was wearing a turban and all this kind of stuff. And and he says, where should we put the demolition devices?
Oh yeah.
And I said, what the hell are you talking about? Why? This is a piece of paper. There's nothing up there yet. And he said, well, that's we're we noticed in Las Vegas that people have that stuff, and it's starting to to spread through New York. And I said, what's starting to spread?
Yeah.
Well, to put in demolition devices before before you take occupancy.
No way.
And that means, and the reason for that is like what happens in Las Vegas. You know, like if the Bellagio Hotel figures it can make $100 more by moving the hotel 3 feet to the right or the left, they'll tear it down and do it.
Right.
You know, and so this is the same deal, because I remember, you know, like in the 60s and the 70s, if you went to New York on any regular basis, and then you were away for a while and you come back at the same spot, there'd be a new building.
Right.
And so that it was like Cristo land. You know, they'd have to they if they're going to demolish it, they'd wrap it. And then they'd get all the dust confined, you know, so it wasn't like what happened, but they'd come down like a set of pancakes.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why you know, World Trade Center building number 7 went down that wasn't hit.
Right.
It's because those things were all connected to each other, so that they could just blow the whole thing up.
Wow. Amazing. Well, okay, 9/11 was a very dramatic moment in Americans' lives, and really I feel that we've been pushed to this point where, well, Buckminster Fuller said it best, that we got the challenge of utopia or oblivion. Do you want to get into